until proven innocent. And you will be guilty without doing anything wrong. Under this bill, you are guilty without doing anything wrong simply because someone thinks you might do something wrong. In America, you are innocent until proven guilty until today. If we pass this bill today, we are going to invert the standard and say you are guilty until proven innocent. And you will be guilty without doing anything wrong. Under this bill, you are guilty without doing anything wrong simply because someone thinks you might do something wrong. In America, you are innocent until proven guilty until today. If we pass this bill today, we are going to invert the standard and say you are guilty until proven innocent. And you will be guilty without doing anything wrong. Under this bill, you are guilty without doing anything wrong simply because someone thinks you might do something wrong.
Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. This is your Akim Julazil, back with another quick lesson. And you can tell by the open topic, it's these Edomites, man, and their craftiness. And this is what they long for, man, you know, to pass these policies to put themselves in certain positions so they can do what? Continue their perpetual hatred for the children of Israel. So it says what? Somebody through a bill, so you're even though that statement you're innocent until proven guilty is still there is a gray area anyway as it is, but it's gonna be blatant because that's how they've been treating you. Anyway, they say you're innocent until proven guilty, but they have already been treating you like you're guilty by what? Letting people sit in certain places without, you know, their liberty. You know, you're sitting there until the situation fall out. They won't grant you your freedom. You know, granted, you know, some people, I'm gonna be honest, some of these jokers need to be locked away. You know, but in general, their policy as it is, it's a gray area when they make that statement, Salakia, you're innocent until proven guilty. Because of situations like that, they would deny you, like say for instance, you get locked up, they would deny you bail, you know, for certain reasons, you know, that's not, you're being, if you're sitting there, you're already deemed guilty. You know, because they didn't allow you to be free, you know, grant you your freedom. But like I said, man, you know, it's a give and take in that situation, man, because just like I said before, some of these jokers need to be locked the fuck up because they ain't right, man. A lot of these jokers around here ain't right, you know. I'm going to just say, I won't put it here. Some of these jokers around here ain't right, man. You know, so, but like this, I guess this, I don't know what state he's from. He's a senator. And he's bringing light on the subject of if they pass this bill, and it says, okay, it says, you will be guilty at the bottom, the caption at the bottom, it says, you will be guilty without doing anything wrong. Representative Jim Jordan on red flag protection order. 77% of Republican voters support letting courts temporarily remove guns from people found to be a danger. So, you know, I understand that, but I don't know in what aspect they're talking about. But based on what he's saying, because I haven't really indulged into this bill or into this order, but based on what he's saying, you know, that's what it perceived that, just like he said, by passing this bill, you will be guilty, even if somebody thinks you're, you know, that's what it is. A thought, if I think that you are going to do this, that person don't have to have any proof. All they got to do is say, bring up a notion, a statement, says, yeah, he, she, them, they are guilty without any type of evidence that they have done anything wrong, man. And ultimately, that what it is a these policies are going to be used for these Edomites' benefit anyway, towards anyone and anybody. But we know, namely, they're going to target who? The children of Israel, man. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. That just like they've been doing, man. But they do have their meritorious manumission. Like I saved a little winner, and I do a lesson on that. And that was a policy back in the 1700s that there was a Jake that was going into that, man. These sellout Negroes, man, they would be rewarded to pretty much sell their quote unquote people out, man. Or I'm gonna just say people that look like them, man. They'd be rewarded for backstabbing, being disloyal. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the example. This Jake was going into the so-called slave rebellions, man. How they had these certain niggas that was out there selling other niggas out, man. That's why the rebellion was not successful because of these meritorious manumission Negroes up here selling out, man. Pretty much turn around and exposing what they were going to do, man, to these to their oppressors, man. But nonetheless, back to this this bill. So this is what Esau Edom longed for, man. That's why they want to put themselves in these positions, that they perceive that a lot of these people perceive that they have some type of real power. All y'all costume playing, man. I'm the good guy, you the bad guy, man. They're playing a role, and that's what it is. And they're just like a movie script. They're just acting out in writing, man. I'm the good guy, you're the bad guy. XYZ. This is his fantasy, man. So through his policy, he allows craft to prosper. Remember, I'm gonna get it. This is the book of Daniel 8:25. It says, and through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hands. And that's what he's doing, man. This dude is crafty, man. He's sly. I'm gonna go into that word. It says shrewdness.
Strong's H 7922, Sechel, and second entry, Sechel.
No, I'm gonna go back. That's not a good. I'm gonna go to crafty. Right here.
Strong's H 4820, Mirma.
It says crafty is what? Near ma. And it says what? Deceit, treachery, man. That's what it is. Deceitfully, false, gall, fiend, craft, subtlety. That's what he is. He's that serpent, man. He's coming with subtlety, man. Trickery, man. And that's what he's doing through these policies, man. And this one right here is pretty much blatant. But like I said, this system, as it is, that you're innocent until proven guilty, there's a gray line there anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times you're even though they state that you're treated contrary to that, man. Because I've been in situations like that, multiple times. Because that's how this system works. And actually, it is the other way. So now they're trying to they operate. They state that you're innocent until proven guilty, but they operate contrary to that. So by them passing this law, they're just going to be blunt because they've been doing it out. They've been doing it all along anyway. These people are just being deceived because of he put these words out here: freedom and justice for all, equality, life and liberty and pursuit of happiness for everybody. Nah, it's for him. Like this Constitution was actually made for these prominently these wealthy Edomites, man. These slave owners. But also who benefits? Their whole nation benefits to an extent. And like this one that I saw this other Jake, he was making he was speaking some truth about these Edomites. He was like, according to their constitution, they call us 3/5 of a man. He said, we try to come to them being civil, but how can you come to somebody or approach somebody talking about being civil, right? But they feed your babies to alligators. They eat you. You know what I'm saying? They do all these They do all these. They got a track record of treating you uncivil, but they want to act like they're the civilized person and demean you by calling you 3/5 of a man. Yeah. See, that's their policy, man. Daniel 8:25, it says, and through his policy, also he shall call craft to prosper in his hands. So like it. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. That means his mind. This devil thinks highly of himself, man. That's why he wants to promote himself in these certain positions so he can portray to everybody else that, hey, because of this job title, I'm somebody and you're not, So whatever I say goes. And anybody with a logical mind, meaning that I can care less about your job title because it's your actions that proves who you are, not a job title, man. And anybody with a reasonable mind would disregard this person's job title, man, and do what's just to them, man. Because I never felt that way. I never gave anybody no type of respect based on a job title, man. As that true saying is, respect is earned, not given, man. You know what I mean? They think it's a given. They think because I have this job title, I'm supposed to receive automatically some type of respect. You see, I got this uniform on. Give me the respect that I deserve. It's a uniform, it's a costume. And a lot of these diabolical Edomites, man. And a lot of it's being shown, a lot of this, when era of Esau being exposed are being shown for what these jokers are. A lot of these police, judges, politicians, XYZ, this so-called file that's been out. None of them being brought to justice. You know why? Because all of them, in some form or fashion, is tied up. These politicians, man, with this Ep dude file. There's nobody being brought to justice based on that, and prior to that, especially this during this last administration, not this current one, they was talking about it and bringing people to justice and XYZ. But now there's nobody even talking about this guy anymore, man. It's just little whispers now, but there's nobody talking about bringing any type of charges against anyone. And from what I heard, they said no one off of that file is going to be any charges are going to be brought against anyone that's been found on those files. That's the some information that I ran across, or I came across, I'm put it like that, some weeks ago, man. But before that, they was talking all about that. Yeah, man, we're bring out the files and they should be brought to justice, XYZ. But nothing is going to be done, man. You know, because they all are just like the scripture said. It said there's no good, no, not one, man. All of them to these mandatory mission ass niggas, man. They all have done something on both ends, whether it be left wing, right wing, Republic, Democrat, whatever, you know. So they don't want, because they'll pretty much dismantle their whole system. Like who they're picking, like this person may say, yeah, you did it. Then they turn around and say, oh no, I got some dirt on you. You know, so it's like that. So like who can you trust in this corrupt ass system ran by these Edomites, man? There's no one you can honestly trust, man. Cause their whole system is corrupt and deceitful and foul, man. You know. And by peace shall destroy many, he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And that's coming at the end, man. You know, this devil will try to, you know, go to war. Because the Lord is all prophecy. He gonna amp up this like he said, magnify himself. He gonna put that spirit on this devil to go to war with our Lord and Savior when he return, man. But nonetheless, man, what it is, and that's another lesson, but nonetheless, man, what it is these devils' policies, man. You know, they're very crafty. And let me go into that word crafty again, because I think there was a word. It says fiend.
Strong's H 4820. Mirma.
It says fiend is an objective that means not genuine, fake, or insecure. It describes when someone puts on a false show of a feeling, emotion, or physical state to trick or deceive others. See, that's what this devil doing. He's been putting on a false show, man. Equality, freedom and justice for all, integrity. You know, this is the land of freedom for everyone, man. He's been putting on a fake show, man. But you can see right now through the acts of what's going on throughout this country and throughout the world, it's contrary, man. You know, I'm some humanitarian for the world to you know, model like this current conflict going on between these ish people. You know, they're in support of the terrorists, man. They got allegiance with a country that is committing acts of terrorism right now, but some time ago they'd be trying any other country, man, especially if it's some Middle Eastern country, you know, South American country, some African country, whatever, you know, and certain parts of certain part of Europe. or even Asian, you know, if they was doing these acts, they'd be calling them terrorists, man. But yet they can disregard what other people do, but demonize others that may do something similar, man. You know, or they'll probably they'll manipulate the situation to make that person out to look like that they're doing something what you want to say terroristic, but actually they're doing something in defense or trying to stop an invasion on, you know, or intrusion on their territory or whatever things that they got going on, man. But they'll say, oh, these people are terrorists, you know, because that's what he do, man. He's a crafty person, man. Let me say that again.
Feigned.
Well, it says feigned. It said it describes when someone puts on a false show of a feeling, emotion, or physical state to trick or deceive others. It is the past. Never mind. That doesn't mean nothing. I mean, but that's what it is. He's putting on a physical state to trick or deceive others, man. A feeling or emotion, man. That's what these devils been doing, man. They've been tricking people, man. Do deceit, deception, lies. And that's what Babylon the Great, aka America, is being maintained by, man. Deceit, trickery, lies. You know, a lot of these jakes, they don't care. They like to live in a facade, man. That's what it is. They like to live in a lie. They like to live a lie, man. You know, because they don't want to face the harsh reality, man. You know, because this devil, that's what he is, man. He's the master of deception. You know, but I'm gonna end it off there, man. Hope the body was edified. Till next time, I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Again, this your Akim Julazil, Lord willing. I'll be back with another lesson. Till next time, Shalom, Barak Thumb, and a Baba Ball, Shalom.